尊敬的布隆伯格先生，尊敬的各位来宾，
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen,
大家上午好。
friends, good morning.
我非常高兴能够出席2023
It
年
gives me great pleasure to join you for this face-to-face meeting at the 2023 New Economy Forum.
创新经济论坛自2018年
Since its inception in 2018, the forum has become
共商全球经济前瞻性、趋势性问题的一个重
an
点。
important platform to discuss global economic trends and cutting-edge
以拥抱
issues,
不稳定为主题，
themed
共
embracing
商应对全球
instability
性挑战之策。
and focused on addressing global challenges.
在此，我谨
This
代表
year's forum is of great significance.
对论坛
On
的召
behalf
开
of the Chinese government, I wish to extend warm congratulations on the opening of this forum and sincere greetings to you all.
当前，世界百年
At
变局
present,
加速演进，
changes unseen in a century are unfolding at a faster pace across the world. Global economic recovery lacks
紧
momentum.
张与经济格局演变
Geopolitical tensions are compounded with the evolving economic landscape.
能源
Crises of food, energy,
多种
and
危机
debt
同步显现。
are emerging.
与此同时，
Having said
新
that,
一轮科技革
the
命
deepening of the new
和产业
round
变
of
革
technological
持续发
and
展
industrial transformation
为世界经济
has
可
brought
持续
new
发展
opportunities
带
for
来新的
sustainable
机遇。
economic growth.
各国谋求合
All
作共赢的
countries
愿望变得
Have
更
a
为
stronger
强烈。
aspiration for win-win cooperation.
面对世界之变、时代之变
In，view of the changes of the world, of our times, and of historical significance, Chinese President Xi Jinping made a major call of building a community with a shared future for mankind
全球安
and
全
proposed the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the
推
Global
动构建
Civilization
一带一路
Initiative,
进入高质量发展，
ushering Belt and Road cooperation into a new
为
stage
应
of
对
high-quality
人类共
development
同的挑战，构建更加美好的世界，贡献了
and
中国方面。
contributing China's proposals to meet the common
人类是
challenges
相
of
互依存
humanity
的
and
命
build
运
a
共
better
同
world.
体。只有合作共
Humankind
赢，
is a community with a shared future, and a win-win cooperation is the sure way to success in doing great things
中国
that
愿与
benefit
世界
all.
各国一道，把握时
China
代发
is
展
ready
机
to
遇
work with other countries to seize the development opportunities of our times, jointly
共同
address
开创
risks and
人类
challenges,
更加美好
and
的未来。
create a better future for mankind.
我愿分享3点看法：
Here, I wish to share with you 3 observations.
坚持以开放
First,
促合作。
promote cooperation through opening up.
经济全球化是不可阻挡的
Economic
历史潮流
globalization is a historical trend that is irresistible and
在
irreversible.
当前，全球贸易和投资放缓，
Global trade and
经济
investment
复
are
苏
slowing down.
缓慢，
Economic
且不均衡的情况
recovery
下
remains sluggish
面对
and unbalanced,
各种已知和未
and
知的挑
various
战，
known and unknown
建
challenges
设开
are
放型
confronting
的世
us.
界经济
Against this
显得
backdrop, building
更加
an
必要，
open world economy
更加紧迫。
is all the more necessary and
单
urgent.
边主义、保护主义
Unilateralism
没有出路
and protectionism lead
安全
nowhere.
的问题也不能泛
The
化。
issue of security cannot be
无论
overstretched.
是脱钩断链，
Decoupling,
还是所谓的
severing
去风险，
industry and supply
都
chains,
只会
and
把
the
全
so-called
球经济
de-risking will
割
all
裂成
only divide
一个
the
一个的
global
孤岛。
economy into many isolated
我
islands.
们要遵循均矩规律，
We need to follow the laws of
支持
economics,
多边主义，促
support
进生
multilateralism,
产要素
promote
在全球市场能够
the
自由
free
地
flow of production factors in the global market,
高效、
and build
安全的产业
industrial
供应
and
链。
supply chains that are convenient, efficient, and secure.
中国始终是经济全球化的支持者，
China has always been a supporter, participant, and beneficiary of
经
economic
过45年的改
globalization.
革开放，
After 45 years of reform and
已
opening
经
up,
与世界经济
the Chinese
深度
economy
融
is
合
now deeply integrated into the world economy. As we speak, the 6th China International Import-Expo, or CIIE, is well underway in
新国
Shanghai.
会已经成为中国
The
推动
CIIE
高水平开放
has
的
become a platform for China to promote high-level opening up and a global public good shared by all.
中国坚定不移地推进
China commits to advancing high-level opening
扩
up
大
and steadily expanding institutional opening up of rules, regulations, management, and standards.
我们将提供更多市场机
We
遇
will
投
provide
资机
more
遇
market and investment
让各国企
opportunities
业共
for
享
companies
中
from
国
all over
自
the
主性
world
开放的红利
to。share the dividends of China's institutional opening up.
第二，坚
Second,
持以创新谋动力，
foster growth drivers through innovation.
稳步向前的
What's the
动力
source
来
of
源
impetus for accelerated economic recovery and progress?
是创新。
Innovation.
当前以互联网、大数据、人工智能为代表的新一代新级技术，
The new generation of information technology, such as the internet, big data, and AI, is advancing with each passing day. New energy and green and low carbon technologies are developing rapidly. So, how to keep the world economy growing in the long run tests the wisdom and courage of all countries.
中国经济总体
Since the beginning of this year, China's economy has been rebounding and improving on the whole,
2.2%的
with a 5.2% growth for the first 3 quarters.
新动能加快培育，
New growth drivers are being nurtured at a faster pace. High-tech manufacturing and services also enjoy much higher growth than the average of the manufacturing sector.
我们要抓住新一轮
We need
科
to
技革
seize
命
the opportunities brought by the new round of technological revolution and industrial
同经济
transformation,
深度融合，
facilitate the integration of technology with economy, increase the sharing of innovation results, and strengthen coordination and cooperation so as to better unleash the vitality of innovation
增
and
长注入新
inject
动能。
new impetus into
要
the
坚持以
global
创
economy.
新为
We
驱
should
动，
stay committed to the innovation-driven approach,
推动经济
vigorously promote the
产业结构转型升级，
transformation and upgrading of economic, energy, and industrial structures, advance smart, green, and low-carbon development, and jointly respond to the challenge of climate change.
第三，坚持以和
Third
平促发展。
Advance development through upholding
当
peace.
前，国际地缘政治博弈加剧，
Geopolitical rivalry is intensifying across the world, and international and regional security
已
hotspots
经
are
成为
emerging one after
当
another.
今世界不稳定的。
All these speak to the fact that the world is
我们
unstable.
生活在同一个地球上，
We live on the same
各国人民
planet.
命运与共，
The people of all countries are interconnected and
各国安全
interdependent,
相互关联。
and the security of one country has an impact on that of others.
要更加坚定地
We need to
以
be
对
more
话协
determined
商化解冲
to
突，
resolve conflicts
营造有利于
through
发展的
dialogue and consultation
稳定的
and
国际
create
环境。
a stable international environment that is conducive to
中国人民
development.
历来爱好和平。
The Chinese people value
中
peace.
国是现代化，
The Chinese
是走
path
和
to
平发展
modernization
道
is
路的
one
现代化
of peaceful development.
中国愿同
China
世界各国一道，
is ready to work
共
with the
同
rest
维
of the
护
world
世
to
界
uphold
和平与安全，
world peace and security,
共谋各国的发展，
pursue
繁荣
development and prosperity
共
for
创
all
世
countries,
界现代化，
jointly build a modernized world,
共享人类发展
share the
安全，
achievements of
人民的
development, security, and all
构建
civilizations,
你中有我，
and
我中
build
有你，
a community
共同进
with a
步的
shared future for
人类命运
mankind
共同
in
体。
which everyone's interest is closely interlinked and everyone
弟兄们
advances
先生
together.
朋友们，
Ladies and gentlemen,
应
friends,
对全球性挑战，
addressing global challenges
合作
requires
和共同努力
cooperation and joint efforts of all
大家都很
countries.
关心中美关系。
You all follow China-US relations closely.
习近平主席多次强调，
President Xi Jinping has
中美两
stressed
国
on many
能否
occasions
正
that
确相处，
whether China and the
事关
United States can find the
人类的
right way to
前
get
途。
along bears on the future of humanity.
宽广的地球完全容得下
The world
中
is
美
big
各
enough
自发展，
for the two
共同
countries
繁
to
荣。
develop themselves and prosper together.
中方始终按照习近平主席提出的相互尊重、
China always views and handles its relations with the United States in accordance with the 3 principles proposed by President Xi Jinping, namely mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and willing cooperation.
经双方商定，
More recently, as agreed by the two sides, China and the United States have had more important high-level interactions. These interactions have sent out
也提
positive
升了国际
signals
社会
and raised the expectations of the international community on the improvement of China-US relations.
中美关系稳下来，好起来
A，stable and sound
是两国
China-US
各界
relationship
和国际社会的
is
共
the
同期
common expectation of people from all sectors in our two countries and the international community as a whole. We're ready to strengthen communication and dialogue with the United States at all levels, advance mutually beneficial cooperation, properly manage differences, and jointly address global challenges.
女士们、先生们、朋友们，
Ladies and gentlemen,
面对
friends,
世界各种不稳定、不确定因素，
uncertainties and instabilities in the international landscape can be both a source of pressure and a motivating force that will encourage us to think
适应变
creatively,
化，
adapt to
迎
changes,
接挑战。
and rise to challenges.
让我们以创新的勇
Let
气、
us work with the courage of
团
innovation,
结的力量、
the strength of solidarity,
合作的智慧，
and the wisdom of
化
cooperation
不稳定
to turn
为稳定，
instability into
为
stability
人类创造更加
and
美好的未
create
来。
a better future for all of us.
最后，我
In
衷心祝
closing,
愿
I sincerely
本届
wish
论坛
this forum
取得
a full
圆满成
success.
功。谢谢大家。
Thank you.